Okay, folks, we're going to be getting into dividing fractions. We did a whole number divided by a fraction divided by a whole number. And the course theme there was reciprocation, but this is lesson 6. This page, these models, I'm going to kind of get away from those because I want to get to the straight computation and really focus on this page. So anyway, let's get started. Let me move my mouse out of the way. But determine the reciprocal of each fraction below. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about these. Reciprocal is just flipping the fraction. Now, when we have a mixed number, we need to get it to an improper and then flip that. So 11 times 1 is 11. Okay, 11 times 1 is 11 plus 8 is 19 11ths. That equals that. The reciprocal, and the reciprocal is 11 19ths, and that's what I'll circle. Okay, and this is wrong. I should go back here and erase that. The reciprocal of 3 ones is 1/3. The reciprocal of 1/5 is 5/1. All right. So now we're going to take this application of reciprocating and go ahead and divide a few fractions. So 3/4, change the sign and reciprocate the second fraction. It's always reciprocating the second fraction. At this point, I'm looking for a top to bottom combination of reducing, and there's nothing. 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, and if I was to take 9 and divide it by 8, I would see that 8 and an eighth is the answer. Let's try that again. 2/7, change the sign and reciprocate. No top to bottom combination, so we end up with 4/7. And since that's a simple fraction, I left it alone. I'm going to take this to an improper. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 5, okay, is 13/8. Change the sign and reciprocate. Now, we are going to be able to factor out a 4 here. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we end up with 13/2. And as you get older and as you get more number savvy, 2 goes into 13 6 times, and that ends up being 6.5. And let's continue, because when we get into this dividing fractions, you kind of get into a flow here. So 1/4, change the sign to 5/3. Okay, and no top to bottom, 5/12. 7/8 times, and I'll use a dot here, times 4/1. I reciprocated, see? I'm going to factor out the 4. 7 times 1 is 7. 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 goes into 7 3 times. That is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. And the denominator doesn't change. I want you to be able to get to this point where you can say 7.5 or 7 seconds equals 3.5. Okay, so we have 2 more problems to take a look at here. And I'll raise this up just a tad for you. Here we go. We're going to get this to an improper, so we multiply and add. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 5 is 17/6. Change the sign to multiplication and reciprocate. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into that twice. 17 times 1 is 17. 2 times 2 is 4. Now, this is a little bit weird, but we should be able to do this. 4 goes into 17 4 times. That's 16, right? 17 minus 16 is 1, and the denominator doesn't change, 4 1/4. All right, the last problem I'm going to do with you is number 9. And then don't forget, tomorrow you're going to be doing a digital slide activity. But here we go. 3/10, change the sign to 5/3. I reciprocated, right? Oh, same number top and bottom. Just cross them off and put 1s, because you divide them each by himself. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into this 2 times. We end up with 1/2. So again, nothing really different. Dividing fractions and multiplying fractions is fun. It's a lot easier than certainly adding and subtracting. So, okay, guys, head to the folder and do your homework.